you know, so that wonder. So I don't, it is fun, it is engaging, it is very rewarding, but there are parts where you will see kids really just struggling, trying to figure it out. Not in a bad way, but in a way that they're really trying to understand. And that's when, to me, that's when I know I've got them. You know, they're able to pay attention and stay with it and keep trying to figure it out because they really want to know how that works.
But just a small question. If the project gets so difficult, then it's not fun for them anymore.
Right.
So if they get stuck somewhere, then basically we have either not facilitated the project properly, or our end objectives or goals are not clear in that sense.
Okay, and so this is where we look at, you know, scaffolding. Are they stuck on one part and they're just frustrated? Do we scaffold them and come in, or team, put in a different group? So it's that where you said we don't leave them there. We don't leave them hanging, struggling. Yeah. Right, the teacher's there. The teacher's there, and the other children are there. So I guess I don't want us to think, though, that we just are going for fun and it's all joyous. It's okay to let children struggle and try to figure out something, and someone might come and help scaffold them, and then boom, they're to a whole nother level, and you can see that excitement and all on their face. But yes, we're not going to leave them there struggling. Exactly. Is this for me? Yes. Oh, okay. It's a revised schedule that I'll tell you all about. Okay, so the good point, and that's where we as the teacher come in and help.
Just one small word. Basically, learning needs to be fun. That's it. Learning is fun, and that's what a whole project is about.
I think there's a very careful line between learning being fun and learning, no learning going on. If there is, for example, the project or any other interactive session, any activity is going on without any objective behind it. You just can't let children do anything they want. Utilize their energies.
That's our role also as the teacher. Sometimes I think that's where play, curriculum, people get worried. Well, they're just playing. Well, as the teacher, we are making sure that they have situations in there to play with. They have props, they have books.
Carefully selected situations.
Carefully selected situations. Sometimes the situation, you know, role-playing, things purposeful, sometimes purposeful. There's nothing like just free play and risk and engagement. But again, if kids are just kind of repeating and stuck in a groove, we go over and scaffold them, or we change things up. That's part of the teaching.
Hands-on, minds-on.
Yeah, very good. Hands-on, minds-on.
Good point.
You've heard that before, or did you make that up just now? Yeah. You should have taken credit. Yeah, hands-on, minds-on. So I like that because, you know, beginning teacher once said, you know, hands-on. Okay, worksheet. Their hands are on it. Well, yeah, but that's a little too literal. So their minds aren't on it. So hands on, minds on. Okay, how about then if we go to the next question?
One question, yeah. When you do project-based learning, do you have specific goals or goals as the project goes along to take on? Because if you have specific goals, then you're going to, you know, structure that learning again, or if you take on the goals changes as the project goes on.
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think it's goals so that you know, you want this process to occur. You want to make sure that children, you know, the goals might be more that they're engaged, that they're asking questions, that they're able to pay attention, versus I'm not quite sure. What kind of goal that you mean. I guess there's different types of goals, but I would say...
Habits or outcomes.
Yeah. I think that we were talking about this in this group too, so I know it'll come up. As the project starts to evolve, there's this trust that it's going to emerge different ways, so I can't exactly predict what's going to come or where those learning objectives are going to happen. I can tell you that there's going to be some literacy activities, that there's going to be some social studies activities, but I don't know exactly yet what those are going to be. Someone had said, you know, you're teaching, so as the children take you in a different direction or want to stay on a topic longer, and we talked already about going deeper, then I just know that I need to embed that learning in there on those different topics. But I mostly let the project take more of its own leadership with the children. It stays more organic, more dynamic, what's going to happen. So I showed an example of the long-term gardening project. We knew we were going to be gardening, but we didn't know what all was going to happen in there. When a master gardener comes in to work, we don't know exactly what they're going to say, how the children are going to respond. We do know at the end, or during the project, the master gardener was going, oh, I didn't know preschoolers could do this. Had no idea that they could learn so much and do so much at 3 and 4. So we have that going on, and so when you bring in, like in Reggie, then you're bringing in the community, then you as the teacher, you're also teaching those people how to be with young children and their capabilities. Okay, so we'll keep going to the next one, and I think as we hear from different groups, it will help us to understand more. So how does project-based learning engage children in short and long-term interest? This group was doing that a little bit more individualized, I think. I don't know if you ever got the chance to share as a whole group. We didn't get that far. Okay, I interrupted. How about if one or two of you would share? Maybe somebody share short-term benefits or long-term benefits?
Well, actually, what points that I have here is a bit of both. It's a
bit
mix
of
of
both.
both short and long-term interests. Firstly, it keeps the children engaged and interested, and it gives them a hands-on experience. They're getting practically they're getting a hands-on experience, and then they're working as a team. They're learning to cooperate with each other, cooperation, and then it is stimulating their imagination and creativity. They're anticipating, they're thinking what's going to come next, or what's going to be the outcome of that project. Like when they were planting seeds, they were obviously told that's going to grow up into a plant, and they actually
Why do you
saw
have
it.
to say? I think they should observe and they should realize that it's going.
Well, we were planting the seed, you will tell them it will grow up into a plant, and they saw it actually growing into a plant.
I would think that discovery is more important for a child.
You're telling them you're gardening, so you actually tell them, you're not just saying, okay, we are planting the seed. You're telling them, once the activity starts, you're actually going to give a layout picture.
There's a question. Yeah,
No.
I feel you are taking away the excitement. They should just leave it. And
Yeah, but
one day they will come and they will
see
that something is growing.
Yeah,
What?
What I think of the question is, it's more like, what does project-based learning, how does project-based learning engage children in short and long-term interest? We're not talking about the project. The project is already decided. The pros and cons are already decided. Now we are thinking how we're going to engage them in long and short-term interest. So I think is,
Oh, I see. Yeah, so the question is written nebulously, so you can interpret it this way or that. So we have a different interpretation. Let's hear, because they're both good questions, I think.
You have to basically understand how you have to engage them. There are many ways of engaging. See, the way, what's his name, Mr. Lal?
Yeah.
The way he put it, the teacher came up with a question and the children kept on thinking about it the whole week. See, you gave them a question, you give them a picture, you just say something which motivates them to think. This is what actually we were doing in our school, that is the Kent branch. Thank you very much, everyone. Goes down. So what happened was, we had rabbits, and we told them that...
So now you have a lot of rabbits,
exactly.
right?
Thousands, different profit you can buy. So we told them they're going to have babies. You see the babies, you observe the babies. They were the ones who were taking care of the, not exactly taking care of the babies, but they were feeding them with grass, and they were observing, and they were taking pictures and making movies as well. So I used to tell them, after 3 days we'll go again and we'll take a picture. After 5 days or 10 days we're going to go and make a movie. This is how they're interested, and their interest is engaged all the time. By the time they were grown up, we had pictures displayed on the wall, and it was like, see how it started and how it ended. So, and they, automatically figured it out. This is the same way we grow. We are little babies and we grow, we eat, we're protected, and then they were thinking, why aren't they going to the school? I said, they are already So
Good question. Yeah.
I think if you want to share anything, you can go and you can sit there in your break time and you can share whatever you feel like sharing with them. So they used to go there and they used to sit there and they used to say, what I learned today, I learned a sound, and I learned there are 3 letters in this sound, and stuff like that. So this is how you engage. It's basically you telling them how to engage themselves, because they have this random, they can be really, really random. They can think this way, that way, and that way.
You need to generalize.
Exactly. Generalize their energy so that it's constructive rather than destructive.
But there's some very good examples in there about what you did short term with them on the rabbit project, if you will, and then the long term, not only watching the rabbits grow up, but then making this transfer. Oh, this is what happens to me because I'm an animal, a human living animal. I breathe, I eat, I need to sleep, and all these things the same that the animals would. Very good. Anyone else from this group? Yeah.
I want to add something because the question is how can we engage them for the long term and the short term. So for the long term, maybe when you give them a sense of ownership that I was observing you and I know that you, this is our project.
So that ownership, this is ours, yeah, exactly.
And you give them a sense of decision makers when you give them a variety of material to choose and to whatever they are making, you are actually saying that represent your imagination. So they feel like you have decided this activity, so we are the decision maker in this classroom. And also you are giving them respect because whatever they are making and they are sharing with you, you are listening to them, you are actually respecting them. So it will engage them a lot for more time. Maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, one child is feeling that teacher is not listening to me, but maybe the next day he is making something and you are giving importance and you are showing to everyone that he is making this thing, wow, I like this. So this is like they will feel more confident.
And so when I
hear... you keep on extending the thing, so it will engage them for long term because you raise questions based on individual.
Right. All those things you just described, they're going to want to stay with it.
Exactly. So we keep on extending that thing. So maybe these things can involve the children for more time and for long term time you can keep their interest in that.
Right. And so with these you see things like extended attention span, extended memory, better recall, being able to tell stories, being able to remember sequential information. All of those things are critically important and make formal learning so much easier if you already have experience in those things versus waiting to take a turn or just having a flat surface. So all of those things you just described are also building up intrinsically the way the child feels about him or herself. Sometimes I say it about this time for maybe the non-believers is children in these classrooms tend to behave. You have less behavior problems. You're less problem solving and being the police officer in the classroom because they're so engaged with doing things. So sometimes it will make your life easier also. You know, it is hard work. You need to stay on top of it, but it's so engaging and it will eventually make, once you get the rhythm of it, make your job easier. Let's go to the next one. This was a big debate one, and we were already coming into the larger group. How are projects determined? That is, whose voices are heard in classrooms? Are we going?
We had a good discussion at our table, and we were lucky to have around 40% actually doing project study in the school. And of course, the teacher would observe the children, and based on the age groups and stages of development and the resources and practical aspects, she would be then the person who does decide. Would you agree or not?
You had a lot more